back to having technical difficulties with the recording. Both of the GoPro batteries that I've been using, brand new, are no longer taking a charge, so my last few days of work with the Mustang have not been recorded. Fun. Anyway, I am going to take a moment to kind of talk you guys through everything that I've been doing in the meantime. As you can see, she's just hanging out with me now, pretty chill. Which is exactly what I like from the Mustang. The very last video I got on the GoPro, you would have seen that she let me walk up to her and actually untie her neck tag. So I didn't have to cut it off, and I didn't have to like wrangle her to get it off. She just kind of stood there and let me get it off and then was like, okay, I'm done. And that was a pretty cool experience. And after that neck tag came off, we finally settled on a name. This is Zendaya Mustang. Long for Zen. And I think the Zen Mustang is exactly what we've been trying to accomplish, and so it is a pretty good name for her going forward. Don't you think so, Zen? Yeah, so I like that one a lot, and she seems to have liked it too. She just gave a big yawn right there, so that's a good sign. So what we've been working on next, you see in some of the other videos, the start from earlier this week when I was getting her used to my lunge whip. I've been basically desensitizing her to it all week. And as I do that, my goal is to get her comfortable with things moving around her, behind her, under her. I've been using it to knock flies off her legs, and she thinks that's probably like the coolest tool in the world now. So she's pretty comfortable with me using it to approach her. And then lastly, I've been using it as an extension of my hand and kind of throwing the rope part of it up over her head, over her neck. She's pretty comfortable with me rubbing her on the face with it, rubbing her on the ears with it, even if when I raise my hand, that's too much because my whole body tends to follow that, and I think that's just a bit much for her. The next thing that we need to accomplish is to get a halter on her and teach her how to start leading and lunging and doing things on the end of a rope. I am going to put a rope around her neck to do that, but before I do, I want to make sure that I can get that rope off of her neck. I don't want to put anything there that could be a danger and has to, get dragged around the pen. So I've been using the lunge whip to, 1, approach her, 2, prove that I can touch her with the scary rope thing, and then 3, to put pressure on her to lead. Just like if she had a halter on her head and I pulled on that lead rope, she would follow right behind me. And so by using the rope on the lunge whip and positioning it right above her head and then using that to lead her around, we've been pretty successful at getting her to actually follow the pressure from the line, and then learning how to move her feet when she feels that pressure. Ideally, a horse that feels pressure at the pole, which is the area right behind the ears, feels pressure from that halter, it means they're either tied up to something or they stepped on their lead rope. And the last thing you want them to do is fly backwards. It's called setting back, and it can actually be very dangerous, especially because horses that learn how to do that can get pretty violent with their actions, and then it puts people around them in danger. It puts other horses around them in danger, and it even puts the horse in danger too. They can hurt themselves if they start to set back like that when they have a rope around their neck that's tied off to something. What I want to teach her to do is when she feels pressure on her head or neck, her first instinct should be to step forward, not back. If I can get that through her head, then she's going to be a much safer horse all around. Just picked up my lunge whip. Yeah, and so once she figures that out, I think it's going to really help progress her training. It'll be the next step to everything that we do in the groundwork. And it'll also help when I call the vet in and the farrier to have her feet done hopefully at the end of next week. That's my goal, is to get her feet done within the next 2 weeks. I am officially no longer a teacher. So this is now my full-time job out here at the barn, and I'm looking forward to it. This is my first full-time project, and I plan on dedicating a lot of time to work with this horse this summer. I'm really excited to be able to start committing more time to her. There have been many days over the past month where I've had to take a day off, probably 2 or 3 even a week. So hopefully, this being only 100 days left till the competition date as of July 10th, we can start spending every single one of those days out here together and get through the heat of the summer together and get to trail riding sooner rather than later so we can get out of the heat. I'm gonna put the camera up now. I'm on my phone today, so it might not be as good of a view. And I'm gonna see if I can get some footage showing you guys what I've been working on with the leading and throwing that rope over her neck, showing you what it's gonna look like when I actually put a real rope around her neck, and then later on moving on to the halter. What you're gonna see is that she's pretty comfortable with me touching her face with that rope and guiding her by it. She's really good at following me with her ears and eyes, turning her head towards me, yielding to that pressure, and she's just starting to learn how to step forward to that pressure. So those are all good things, and that is our update for the week. Right, Zen?